Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
All right. Let's see. What's the deal, ladies and gentlemen? I got my man Zach Ochoa. You already know what it is. It's your boy Abraham Gonzalez, Zachary Ochoa. We're here for the Boxing Rush Hour Show live edition. It's Friday. We're feeling good.
Oh yeah.
And
Oh, yeah.
listen, we do not coordinate what we're gonna wear. We just happen to wear black hats with red letterings or pink letterings, however you want to do it. We just do that, man. But anyway, what's good, Zach? Let the people know what's going on so I can share this thing around the world.
Yo, man, I'm good. Everything is good, man. I'm chilling. Had a long, busy day. But we gotta come through for my guy Abe. We gotta get the show rolling. We got a lot of good stuff to talk about. Um, and I'm excited about it. You feel me? But I am a little hungry. I would like to get a steak or something after this. Abe. Feel me? I don't know. I'm a little starving. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh shit, no
How you
doubt.
feeling, Abe?
I'm good,
I see you
man.
got the tank top on, motherfucking
Yo, it's beautiful
San
out here.
Diego weather. You feel me? That nice San Diego weather while it's raining and shit.
Oh yeah, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Ladies and
Right.
gentlemen, I'm pinning the if you want to come in, hold on. I'm gonna be oh man, what happened? The I'm pinning the message on the top of the YouTube. So at Abe G Boxing YouTube, I'm pinning the link to go ahead and jump in and ask us questions, comment, or whatever on the show live. So if you want, yeah, just join us. We're on IG right now as well. A few folks have joined us, and so yeah, we'll get into we're gonna cover a whole bunch of stuff today. Gonna go into Boots Ennis-Stanionis, Benavidez-Bivol, all the stuff that's there on the excuse me on the title of the podcast. But first, we're gonna just kind of slowly, gradually go into those topics. But we're gonna talk about Oscar De La Hoya. Oscar De La Hoya's got yes, he's got this new show. Um, we already know that he has the clapback Thursdays where he's just talking his mess and yeah, and people love it. But then he branched off. Him and his girl, Holly Saunders, decided to come out with a show called No Fucking Way. So they've gone into the first two episodes, and the whole idea of it is that they want you to at least say no fucking way at least once during the show of things that they discuss. So one of the episodes they were talking about the Manny Pacquiao fight. Oscar was talking about how he was basically wanting Pacquiao to knock him out in the fight, like he was waiting for Pacquiao to knock him out so that he can get out of there. Crazy stuff. Um, he also was talking about, I think, on the first episode where after the Floyd Mayweather fight, Floyd retired temporarily, right? And the reason why he did that was because the rematch clause was only good for a year. So Floyd retired for a year and 1 day. And then that 1 day he came back and then he continued on and fought his fights or whatever. So Oscar was saying that he was ducking them, blah, 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 whatever the case may be. But, I mean, that's pretty savvy business, whatever. So you have that show, it's cool and everything, but it just doesn't have that energy, that vibe that Clapback Thursdays has, which last week he was talking about the top rank lawsuit and he was talking about
Oh
Dana
man.
White and everything
Oh
else.
man.
So
Oh man. Oh
um
man.
so Zach, like do you like them branching off into this more like polished TV show type of thing? Or do you prefer that you get the raw and gritty clapback Thursdays?
Now I get to okay, I'm gonna say it like this. I prefer the clapback Thursdays. I like it. Straight to the cut. Boom, it's not too long. Everything is perfect, right? The other one is cool. The name No Fucking Way. I like the name because if it was a crazier type of content, but If not, name it something else, and then start talking about like the history of boxing, certain things and everything like that. But if it's no fucking way, no fucking way. You know what I'm saying? NFW, perfect. People buy hats. I like it. Some people don't know about the things that he's talking about as far as how he felt during the Pacquiao fight or anything like that. So I think that's cool because Oscar De La Hoya is a legend in this game, bro, and he's fought
Facts.
everybody. You got don't get it twisted. This dude, he's been looked at as a promoter for years, right? But people seem to forget the motherfucker for everybody. Monster,
Facts.
a beast, one of the best jabs in boxing, one of the best left hooks in boxing. He gets dropped, gets back up, fights. You understand? Great fighter, fought them all, and made all the money before. Yo, bro, I still he used to sign. He used to be just chilling, sign his multi-million dollar checks while just chilling, laying down in the locker room right afterwards, not even caring. That's how big Oscar De La Hoya was, the Golden Boy. You understand? So people got to stop sleeping on thinking he's just a promoter. They keep forgetting he was a fighter and he was one of the best fighters that has ever laced up gloves. Real shit.
And those are all facts because listen, if you were around during that time where he was the man, or even if you went back and checked it out, like this guy was bigger than a superstar.
You know how you
He
know he was big? I'll never forget this girl named Vanessa that I liked in school. And when I was maybe when I was in the elementary school at the lunch table, everybody said Oscar De La Hoya was fighting Tito Trinidad, Puerto Rican versus Mexican. And at the lunch table, everybody's like, "Who you going for? Who you going for?" We saying we Trinidad, Trinidad, because he's Puerto Rican, Trinidad. This girl, this freaking Puerto Rican girl, Vanessa, I grew up with. She goes, De La Hoya. I said, what? Yo, everybody was like, what? What? It was crazy, but that goes to show you like how big of a star De La Hoya was because of his looks, because of the way he fights. He was
Yeah,
big.
and
He was
he
big.
I think he won like a Grammy for his album.
Yo, and he fucking and that should be a
uh,
Ripley, believe it or not, dog. This shit is crazy.
Oh man, I saw Jay is in here, man. I saw you in the green room, man. We were in the middle of this. Yo, hang on and come back in when we're talking about the boots and the Stanionis here in about 20 minutes. All right, that's for Jay. But anybody else they want to jump in as we're moving on with the conversation? We'll definitely jump in. So shout outs to Jay, Fight Sports
Oh
Talk.
yeah.
There we go. Boom. All right. So listen, we're gonna go into this. We're gonna hit this kind of down and dirty a little bit. Um, Edgar Berlanga, your guy,
Hmm.
your guy Berlanga. All right, he's on here. He's out here in these streets, acting crazy, man. Um,
Why
you know
you
he
saying that? Why you
he
saying
he
that crazy, man? What's
he wants
crazy?
he wants to be the villain. Period. He's out here saying, "Oh yeah, if I'm not, talked about, hated on, then I'm not doing my job," kind of thing or whatever. So he's blaming Eddie Hearn, or as Edgar Berlanga says, Eddie Hearns. He is blaming Eddie Hearn for not getting him the IBF super middleweight title fight against William Skull. He says, according to Berlanga, that they were ready to offer, or they offered Skull $1.5 million, and then for Berlanga to get between $6 to $7 million. And Eddie Hearn said, "No, not doing that." So obviously, the fight didn't happen. Berlanga is basically saying that Hearn could have done it, and if he would have done it, then he could have been in the position to fight Canelo again for the undisputed title. When you hear all of that, what comes to mind? What are you thinking about your guy Edgar?
I mean, that's my guy again, man. He made it. He made it. You know what I'm saying? And he worked hard for it, and he had to do what he had to do since a kid. You feel me? I knew him forever. But those things are all unrealistic. The IBF title shot, unrealistic. The fighting undisputed again, just unrealistic. You know what I'm saying? It's just unrealistic stuff. That's all it is. You can't blame Eddie Hearn. Oh, the $6 million to fight William Score, unrealistic. It's not happening. You know what I'm saying? Those things are not gonna happen. What he has to do is he did what he had to do with this Patelio or whatever, this guy, and got him out of there real quick. You know what I'm saying? As he's supposed to do, look good, look sharp, and then fight now a stand-up guy that can actually bring you some competition and get and then move on to that. You know what I'm saying? Fight like a what if you were to fight like a
He said he
what's
wants the
this guy?
Munguia fight.
Trevor. What's the guy? What's Trevor? Trevor
McCumbee.
Trevor McCumbee. What if he was to fight Trevor McCumbee and he knocks Trevor McCumbee the fuck out in 2 rounds? Oh, guess what? Now, now you can talk shit. Now you can talk and say, "Yo, I got him out of there before Caleb or this and that." That things like that. When you move in that way, then you can start saying those things and start demanding certain things because now you're looking good. You're looking on the come up and you're looking great where you could put your name in those circumstances. You have to fight guys that have fought other guys and other top guys. That's how it goes in boxing. Shout out to my boy, my brother Ariel. That's my guy for real.
Yeah, and yo, shout out for Ariel for coming on and throwing that comment on. This is the thing with Berlanga, man. Listen, he got the biggest fight in boxing. He got the lottery ticket, but he's acting like anything that he gets from here on out has to be that or better. We got to slow your roll a little bit, buddy. You know what I
It's
mean?
not how it
Like
works.
you
Yeah.
you lost the fight. Um, I've heard some people say, "Oh, but he did a lot better than what people thought he would." Did he really though? Like making it 12 rounds is, and arguably, a little bit safe at the end.
My thing is this,
Um,
I'll be honest, bro. He ain't go to the burger, dog. He ain't push himself to fucking try to go and knock out Canelo. And when he got up, he ain't try to make it a whole fight. He ain't try to get into the trenches. He ain't try to put his hands up and just just go off and go. You changed real quick. You know what I'm saying? And then with the whole, he's my idol and this, nah, this shit different, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep that energy throughout the whole thing. Be respectful afterwards, but shit changed, bro. Once you get them
yeah.
checks, but now he got to put himself in a position where he can fight mutual opponents that other top fighters have had and then beat them more decisively as they did or more than they did, I'm sorry, and then you point yourself for that. You can't just fight this dude that you just fought and say, "Yo, I deserve a title shot or whatever." No, you don't.
Yeah.
Maybe you deserve a certain big fight, certain caliber big fights because you got a name for yourself right now where people will go to watch you. But if you find somebody like the last guy or anybody else, nobody's gonna tune in to watch that. They want to see you fight guys that they know are gonna challenge you better, like a McCumbee or somebody else. You
and
understand?
and and this is the thing, man. Like, bro, like this is not 2015, 2016 where people was paying 7, $8 million a fight, bro. Like, you're not getting that, 6, 7 million every time out, bro. Like you're not. You're getting
Nobody's
that
getting
Canelo. Like you're not
that.
Canelo. You're fighting Canelo, yeah. You getting that, but outside of that, which promoter is gonna pay that
No,
for
because
you
it's a
to fight
loss.
somebody?
It's a really it would it's not realistic. Basically, it's just not realistic from a business. It's not. It's definitely not realistic.
Unless it's Turkey, right? Unless it's Turkey and they're doing what they're
Turkey
doing.
ain't even tripping with that. You know.
Yeah, yeah, and you see like Turkey starting to kind of scale down a little bit. Like Shakur Stevenson, kind of got told that to like chill out for a little bit, because maybe what he was asking for was more than what Turkey was willing to pay. Now those
Boy,
salaries are starting to balance out a little bit, right?
boy.
So, look, the middleweight division is hot. They got some good names out there. I think he needs to be realistic and with his purse demands and fight one of those guys. Fight a Plant.
Yo,
Fight a Charlo or Munguia.
go challenge Diego Pacheco, bro, or something. You feel me? Look for that fight, WBC. You know what I'm saying? Like this thing, but you know. You gotta, you just gotta see how things play out for the guys. You know what I'm saying, and hope that they do the best because Edgar comes from where we come from, and shit, I want to see him do well. You know what I'm saying, but
Yeah,
there's a certain way recipe that it has to happen, and right now he's doing it in a way where it just makes the mouths of everybody else a little sour. You know,
yeah, yeah. And
yeah,
shout out to everybody on IG. I got my man Victor Fields, worldwide contemporary jazz vocalist on there. My
nice.
man Angel from Tropical Snow out in Wilmington, North Carolina. My cousin Alex from Phoenix. Yeah, man. Listen, perfect segue to the next thing that we wanted to talk about, which is Pacheco versus Mbilli. Now, this thing has been brewing, and let's give a little bit of background for a second. IBF first mandated Pacheco and Billy to fight in November. Okay, it was coming up to purse bid. Matchroom pulled Pacheco out. Then he ended up fighting Steven Nelson in January. Now the WBC, because mind you, Pacheco's like number one in a lot of these sanctioning bodies, right? So Pacheco comes in again. All right, he's number one in the WBC now. All right, it seemed like he was going in that pattern, getting the regional belts and all that. Now it's hey, Pacheco and Billy WBC purse bid coming up. Day before purse bid comes up, Matchroom pulls him out again. He's gonna fight Trevor McCumbee in the summer in LA somewhere.
Gangster.
So this is my thing though. And Billy and his promoter Camila Stefan, like they want this Pacheco fight. Pacheco himself wants this fight. The path that Matchroom is trying to put him on is a head scratcher for me because I'm just like, then what do you if you're fighting these like eliminators and stuff in WBC, but not going to fight and Billy at the end of it, then what was the point of all that? Now, from what my understanding from people that I spoke to is that Matchroom wanted and Billy versus Pacheco in LA. Eye of the Tiger wanted and Billy versus Pacheco in Quebec City, Canada, where they will do a huge venue over
They
there
can't.
for that,
I like that. I like that better. I like that
right?
one.
But they're trying to build Pacheco in LA because he lives in Seattle now, but he's from LA.
Yeah, but the thing is this. Let me not to interrupt you. The thing is this. You go to this dude's spot. It don't matter where you go, where you fight. Guess what? You either gonna win or lose. You lose in LA, they shitting on you. Anyways, you go to Canada. All right, let's talk like this. I like to talk like a winner. But let's say this. Where would you rather lose? In Canada or in LA? Where would you rather win? In Canada or in LA? Really think about it. You go to Canada, you might get an even bigger purse. You're gonna get a bigger crowd. You're gonna get more fans. You're gonna get more viewers and people watch you and everything. It's gonna be dope. And guess what? You win that. You go back to LA, the fucking man. You go back to LA looking like like yo, he went over there, took because that's how it goes realistically. A lot think about all the resumes and people that have gone to other people's backyards, did their thing, and then they came back home and started killing it. That's the way it goes. That's the way it should be. Just like, yeah, there's so many examples, man. But if he beats this dude in Canada and then go back to LA, they'll have a big LA party for him when he fights.
And this is the thing also. I think the issue from what I was told also is that if they were to do the fight in Canada under Eye of the Tiger, then it would have had to have been on ESPN Plus because they got
You
the
see
deal
that
with
now you
ESPN
talking about
Plus.
the TV. You see
Now,
now
if they
now
do it in LA,
they want to talk about the TV stuff and all
I'm
that.
just saying,
Okay.
but yeah, and then if it was in LA, it was going to be in the zone, right? And so they wasn't trying to have the zone likely. They wasn't trying to have Pacheco go to ESPN and possibly lose on another platform after investing so much into him already.
Listen, I think it would have been the perfect opportunity for him to fight, and if for him to fight in Canada in front of so many different people, in front of so many people, different people, and then on ESPN, a worldwide platform that you don't even have to be subscribed to.
Well, it would have been ESPN Plus. Would have been
Oh,
ESPN
you see,
Plus.
that's different. Your ass got to
Yeah.
find the zone, bro. He might
Yeah.
have to fight on his own. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the thing. Shout out to Jay. I appreciate you stopping in and saying what's up. Yeah, and that's the thing, man. Like, I love the fight. I think that the fight is gonna eventually happen. It's just that the logistics is not working out right now. So now you're gonna have Pacheco take on McCumbee, which that's not a gimme fight, by the way. Like, McCumbee is gonna be tough for Pacheco in there.
Yes,
Um,
he is.
and then in Billy, like, who is he gonna fight? I don't know. They have to be real creative. Eye the Tiger also has that dude Iglesias, the Cuban dude, that's ranked like number 3. That's gonna be a serious problem for a lot of people, right at 168. So it's like, I don't know, man. I mean, they could only avoid it so much. I just don't understand. Like, does Pacheco go now? If he beats McCumbee, does he fight like Munguia? But if he fights
Yeah.
Munguia, same problem,
Yeah.
right? You're gonna
Yeah.
have to go to ESPN Plus because Munguia is not
Yeah.
gonna fight on the zone because he's
Yeah.
with Golden Boy right now. Not go with Top Rank, right? And so, but maybe they can work it out because Top Rank is gonna shut down here with ESPN. Not shut down, but they're not gonna have that ESPN platform after
Wow.
July.
Yeah.
So a lot of question marks in there.
Big time.
Um, but we're just not going to get the fight, right? And this is the thing: the other big names, right? Caleb Plant, your guy Jamal Charlo, they're fighting at the end of the May, separate fights, but then eventually, hopefully, both of them win,
They
and
will
then
fight. They will be fighting each other.
they'll
Yes,
fight each other, right? So you could forget about facing any one of them dudes for the rest of the year.
because they got
So,
their plan. Their plan is set, and their plan actually sets them up to make a lot of money,
yeah,
big time.
yeah, and so Pacheco, like, what does he do? He's gonna eventually have to fight Billy if Billy stays, you know, at the top rank, right? At the top of the 168-pound ranking. So I don't know, but it's a great fight. Like, I want to see that fight, but we're just gonna have to wait. And I hate to say this, and I put this in the article at fightsatw.com that you know I just hope that this is not one of those fights that gets put to marinate and never happens because one of them loses, one of
It
them
can
moves
happen.
up,
It can happen.
or something else happens that doesn't allow for this fight to occur.
They finna fight each other for the world WBC World Championship, so that when or if Terrence Crawford beats Canelo, Terrence Crawford could say, you know what? I'm moving up to 168 to get another title, and then I'm done. Because of course
Well,
I
he's
can
fighting
make.
for the 168 title. He's fighting for the
Oh, okay.
168 title.
Yeah, well, unify. Well, unify that title.
Yeah. I mean, at that point, man, if Crawford beats Canelo, he'll have all the belts. But what they're going to end up doing is they're going to end up mandating one or the other, and at that point, is it even worth it for Crawford? I think he just retires after that, really.
He
And then they'll
should
split.
sail off in the
They'll,
sunset. That's
Yeah,
what.
and they'll
That's what
let
I
all
think.
the belts. They'll let all the belts dismantle again, and people can fight for them. And maybe that's what Matchroom is thinking, right? Maybe they're thinking, let's just keep Pacheco busy enough to where when one of them titles become available, boom, then we get him to a title
It
shot.
happens all the time.
Yeah, yeah. Shout out to your guy Ariel. Pacheco McCumbie's a good scrap. Would like to see Edgar get in there with Pacheco at some point. Yeah, but somebody had thrown in Pacheco's name with Edgar Berlanga, and he was acting like he was too big for that fight. He was like, "Oh no, I want Munguia or Plant or Charlo," kind of like sunning Pacheco a little
But the
bit.
thing is
But
this: you can say what fights you want, but you're not going to take those fights. You're not taking them, because they're there, but you're not
and
taking
he
them.
and he doesn't have a promoter right now. Berlanga, he's a free agent.
Well, but he does have a good manager, so they'll take care of him. Let's see what
he does.
happens.
He does have a good manager. That is for sure. All right, so yeah, we're gonna roll into more shenanigans now. David Benavidez versus Dimitri Bivol was about to go to
Oh
purse
God,
bid, and
it's
then if
crazy.
that fell apart as well. Um, Bivol basically said, "Yo, I'm contracted to fight Artur Beterbiev for the third fight for the trilogy." Now, mind you, there was a little bit of a beef there, right? Because at first, Turkey Al Sheikh was like, "Yo, kind of do your thing or whatever," like to Bivol publicly, and then that's when the purse bid got ordered and everything. But then it looked like he railed them back in. The WBC president Mauricio Suleiman recently said in an interview that Bivol was offered $8 million to fight Benavidez, and
Mm.
that ultimately he turned it down. Um, David Benavidez is now the WBC light heavyweight champion. Uh, so we're gonna get the trilogy, but we're not gonna get Benavidez-Bivol for all the belts. Now, what do you think about this whole situation, and is it just politics as usual?
I just think it's it sucks. We want to see a fight with you know we will. To be honest, a third fight with these two is great, but the thing is, do people really want to see it? Is it needed? What I think is, when a trilogy like this is happening, it's like basically like, yo, bro, they're so good. Doesn't even matter who wins or loses. They're just so that good that the first fight was close, even the second fight was close. Now y'all want to see a third fight, but is it really that entertaining? It's entertaining for me because I'm a boxing guy. I love to watch real pure boxing, but man, Bivol fighting fighting
Benavidez.
Benavidez. That's a wild fight. A great fight for them. Like, you understand, that's a big fight, but hey, he had to do what he had from the business standpoint. Turkey probably hit him with the, hey, you go this way, then you can't come back this way. If you go that way, then you could come back this way. You understand? You know?
Yeah.
And then guess what? Samson's like, hey, Benavidez is the champion, and we don't bow to nobody. And you gotta respect it, you know.
Yeah, and now Benavidez is gonna fight somebody in the summer. Don't know who that's gonna be, right? But yeah, and then we get Bivol Better BF 3. That bag must be really good though. If he
It's
turned
gotta
down
be.
8 mil,
It's gotta be. It's
that thing's
gotta be.
got to be
But you
really
gotta
good,
not just
man.
you gotta know that th- it's not just about the next bag, it's about the bag after that next bag. That's most
Yeah,
likely in the contract.
yeah, because Bivol has been talking about moving up to cruiserweight, right? And that fight with what's his name, the Ring Magazine cruiserweight champion. It's not coming to me right now, but he that fight would be a big fight, right? So I think that Turkey's kind of like going in that direction. Jo Pataya, yeah, Jo Pataya,
Oh,
uh,
yo, 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 yo,
beast,
yo,
beast.
yo,
But that would
that's
be a great fight.
my guy, bro. He's
That would be a
good.
great fight.
Good.
And can we get a Clubber and Rocky rematch? Probably not.
Probably won't get that.
Probably won't get that.
Yo, what was
So,
it? Yo, they had a fake trailer that Creed was gonna fight Rocky. Like, it's gonna be a new Rocky movie, but Creed was actually gonna fight against Rocky, and Rocky was
oh
gonna
my
come back.
gosh.
I'm like, yo, they can't do
Stop it.
that. Don't do
Stop
that.
it. Stop it. Oh man, speaking of like video game stuff, Connor Ben versus Chris Eubank Jr., right? That's coming up in 2 weeks. But today they released a new trailer. You know how for Riyadh season they always do these trailers.
Mhm.
Um, the fight is in association with Fatal Fury, the video game release. So what they did was they had KSI and I Showed Speed, video game guys, really big in that world, but also that do the celebrity boxing stuff and WWE and all that, and they were in it, and it was really dope. Like they had like the production was stupid and it was crazy, and eventually it was like Connor Ben and Chris Eubank in the video game, and then the video game characters, whatever. So it's on the Ring Magazine YouTube page. I just thought it was really dope that they did it that way. What do you think? Not there's going to be a certain number of people that aren't going to really be rocking with the video game linked with the fight to promote kind of both. I think that's a great idea because the gaming world is so much bigger than anything out there. What do you think about that type of promoting, that type of new creative promoting, um, where a fight, a big fight is being linked with release of a video game?
I mean, it's a no brainer. It's awesome. I love it. That's like putting, like me fighting somebody in the Barclays Center, and they put our fight as sponsored by Tekken, the game Tekken, or anything like that's, to me, that's fire. You know what I'm saying? Field of Fury, fire game. So why not? It's gonna make a bigger audience. People from the video game world come into this. They're like, oh, this is with this boxing, and then people start to learn about these fighters that are actually fighting each other. And if it does give a great crowd, or a great result, guess what? Fighters and people might start ending up in video games, other video games, not just boxing video games, which is dope.
Yeah. Yeah, which is kind of like what they do. What's that one video game where they brought like old 80s characters like RoboCop and Rambo and all that? That they brought them as like purchasable characters. I can't remember what. It wasn't Street Fighter. It was something
Yeah,
else, but
yeah, but stuff like that is
yeah.
cool though. They
Yeah.
make your character, then it's for purchase, because the result of having a great feedback from the people, and that are buying this video game, and that are gonna see the fights. It's a no brainer. Why not? Or just keep
Yeah.
it just straight boxing, or just no. You gotta have something a part of it. It's better than other stuff.
Yeah, yeah, no, that's a fact. All right, listen, we're gonna get into Jerron Boots Ennis versus Ennis-Stanionis. I think that's how you say it. My guy Jay from Fight Sports Talk. If you're still there, if you want to join us, go right ahead. But anybody else, the link to the stream is on the top, is pinned on the top of the YouTube page at AG Boxing. If you want to join in the conversation, shout yourself out or whoever, and then we go from there. All right. Welterweight unification bout, Boardwalk Hall, Atlantic City for the WBA IBF welterweight title with the vacant Ring Magazine title on the line. So the winner is going to be the man in the division. Right now, and we'll put these out there right now. So the betting odds, it's minus 600 for Jerron Ennis to win, plus 425 for Stanionis.
Wow.
Ennis by KO is at plus 130. Ennis by decision is at plus 110. Now, mind you, on Monday, Ennis by decision was at minus 110. Now it's at plus 110. Stanionis by KO, TKO is at plus 1200. Stanionis by decision is at plus 700. And the draw is at plus 1800
Sheesh.
as per DraftKings. Listen, the odds are leaning heavy towards Boots, but I think that people are sleeping on Stanionis.
They don't know him.
Yeah.
They don't know him. Really good fighter, basic fighter, tough, can take a punch. I think the odds don't match what it's really all about when it comes to him, but the odds are just like they're on point when it comes to what the boxing people know, and the world knows. The world doesn't know really Stanionis like that. He's a good fighter. This is not going to be an easy fight for Boots, and if he does wipe out Stanionis, whew, I mean, I've seen Boots do some crazy stuff, but he wipes out this guy. That's a amazing look, great look for him.
Now I know that, and correct me if I'm wrong. You've been in the gym around where Boots has trained before, right?
Yeah,
Um,
whenever I go to spar, we always go to that gym a lot of
and
times.
so, excuse me. In the last couple fights, there's been a little bit of criticism on Boots. Have you seen stuff? Has there been stuff that you've seen in the gym that he's done that you haven't seen him do or do less of in a real fight that you're like, damn man, I wish he would do more of that in a real fight.
Of course, man. Yeah. Uh, Can't say much, but that motherfucker shit different.
Yeah.
Telling you, shit different, bro. When I'm talking about people like this, shit different. Everything his dad's saying is the truth, bro. Shit different. He ain't just a regular spawn opponent. No, it's motherfuckers nice flying in, getting their ass smoked. You know what I'm saying? Like, like, like that motherfucker is the goods, the goods. But sometimes the goods can get beat by regular fundamentals, basic. Sometimes the locks, the craziest door that looks the craziest and fanciest, sometimes you just need to put one little key in and open it. Or
Mm.
some people think you got to be all this. You might just need just one little key, open it. You understand? So you have to take it and give. Like Stanionis is not something to sleep on. He's a really good fighter. He's got the basics down pat. He is the Lamont Roach in this fight.
Mm. Mm.
Davis, I mean Boots Ennis is Davis in this fight. You know what's expected. What was expected? Davis to knock out Javante to knock out Lamont. Didn't happen like that. Some people's days is different. What's expected? Boots to smoke Stanley since nobody knows him. But guess what? It might be different. He might give Boots more of a challenge. And then everybody's like, oh man, it might be a close fight, a real close fight. Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But guess what? Every dog has his day. But
Yeah.
this is the time for either Stanley is going to make himself a standout, whether it's how he loses or how he wins. No, it doesn't matter how he wins. If he wins, he's a standout. The whole world knows him now. But it's really how does he? If he loses, how is he losing? Does he get wiped out in the third round, or did you go all 12 rounds going off with Bruce Ennis and make it a great ass fight? And now everybody knows you more, and you get bigger fights now. Or is
Now,
it Jerron Boots that goes and says, oh, it is really how he wins, Jerron Boots. Oh, you went all 12 rounds with this guy. It was a tough fight. Guess what? People are going to question you again. The same thing like they did last time. Anything Jerron Boots does, they own him. And they're not accepting that you have to grow as a fighter. He's growing as a fighter. But if he wipes Stanley on this out, oh, man,
yeah,
that's
and
going to be
see,
impressive.
and I want to go back real quick to what you had mentioned, that you saw, there's some things that he's done in the gym that you wish he would have done more of in a fight. Do you think that at this point, I think he's got 30 fights already, you think that he's overstayed his welcome at 147?
Oh, man. As far as with his body, I'm not sure. Maybe before, yeah, because before he looked bigger and everything and all that. But he has, I've heard he has a nutritionist now. He has nutritionist, so that plays a major key. Motherfucker, you doing this shit your whole career by yourself. Which a lot of us fighters we do that by ourselves. A lot of us can't afford to get a nutritious diet and everything like that. But then when we finally get money, it's good to invest in yourself. And guess what? Boots invested in himself, so he probably making that shit easy. It might look rough on him, cause that's just the body, his body type. But he might be just ready to fucking go, bro. You
Yeah.
understand? And he's militant as well. Boots is a gym rat, and he's militant, and he has a great coach and his father. His father knows boxing very well. But him with Stanley, don't sleep on Stanley's team. Very good, humble, you know, not talkative people, but they coming to fight. They're not coming to lose. They're not coming for a check. They're coming to fight. So I hope Well, he definitely is prepared, but it's gonna be a good fight, bro.
Yeah.
We're gonna see
Yeah.
the demeanors though tomorrow. Well, today. How was the demeanors though?
Yeah, so the ceremonial weigh-in is starting in about 10 minutes. They obviously weighed in earlier today. No one has reported what the weights were. Normally that stuff leaks out. Um, I wonder if there was some weight issues with somebody and they didn't leak that out because of that. But the ceremonial weigh-in will happen here in about 10 minutes, and then they're just going to step on the scale. I don't even know why they even do it. They should just show up in clothes, take pictures, and then keep it moving.
I don't know.
it,
That's
it's
so
it's
wow.
pointless to step on a scale knowing that you're not really stepping on the scale for anything anyway. Um,
I think that when you weigh in, the weigh in should be at the same time as the ceremony or whatever it
yeah,
is, as usual.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, it is what it is. I still want to see what he looks like, but this will be
Yo,
probably 6-7 hours after.
remember, IBF rules are off. This is a unification. If
Yeah.
things are off, guess what? Boots is coming in tomorrow, like motherfucking, like Goku on some shit tomorrow. He's y'all see tomorrow. It's
Yeah.
gonna be it's
He's
gonna be
gonna be
good.
every bit of like 165 ish.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be real
Yeah,
good.
yeah. But listen, don't sleep on Stanionis. That's a big boy too.
He is a big boy, but
Because
sheesh,
you
Gerard.
fought on that card
Yeah, we
in
were in the
Dallas.
locker room together, and man, he's good, bro. He's good. The way they warm up, everything quiet locker room. The motherfuckers is quiet. He should be called a silent assassin or something. Cause for real. Oh,
Oh man. So listen, let's talk about the preview a little bit. Um, we'll talk about Stanionis first. He's going in there. He knows that he's either got to knock out Ennis or there's got to be a decision, like a no doubt decision for him to get out of there with a win. What's his mentality coming in? I'm gonna bring Jay in here. Jay, when Zach finishes with his answer, we'll get you in there.
Yeah, and thanks for having me, guys. Good to
Yep.
talk to you again.
Yo, Zach. So what is the mindset of Stanionis coming into this? If you're him,
I know I'm going against this top fighter. I'm going against one of the best fighters right now out here. Everyone's calling him the current Roy Jones and the modern day Roy Jones, and this guy's real good. But anything can happen in boxing. We've seen it all happen from the Lamont Roaches to Cesar Chavez losing his first real fight to everybody. Work hard, focus, have fun, and execute the game plan and do the best and listen to my corners. That's what he needs to do is focus on his game plan, listen to his coaches, and leave nothing leave nothing in the gym and leave nothing in the corner. Everything he has to put out in the ring. He has no choice. And grab, get dirty, do whatever you gotta do. Leave. Don't You can't leave the fight saying you didn't do one thing. You understand? You got to say I gave it everything I got. And I believe that's what he's going to do. He's got to have that tunnel vision and that mindset of I'm fucking focused. I don't care what guy they put in front of me right now. I'm going to make it my night. Cuz guess what? Things happen for people in boxing, and boxing never lies. So,
yeah, nah. Jay, I'm gonna throw it to you. Your boots, Ennis. What's your mindset coming into this fight, knowing that you're the heavy favorite, knowing that everybody's there to see you fight in Atlantic City, knowing that there's this certain level of expectation of what should happen that night. What's your mindset coming in?
Well, I think he's got to, of course, be confident, which Boots and his team are in every fight they've been in. But for the love of God, I hope this isn't like Teofimo Lopez going in against Cambosis, because you guys remember after Teo got dropped in the first round, and all his freaking dad did was say, "Go after him, go after him." So I really hope I was about to say Bozo Ennis doesn't start screaming at Duron to just go out there and try and knock Stanionis out, because Stanionis is tough. And I mean, you guys have probably talked about the weight cut. Jaron Ennis is looking terrible. So, I was looking at the highlights of the Avanesian fight the other day, and I just can't help but imagine that if Stanionis gets a chance to hit him like half as many times as Avanesian did, I honestly think Jaron Ennis might go down. So, obviously, he needs to be focused, but I, it's hard to say, because really, even though Duron has looked defensively not that great against Avanesian and Chukadzian, really he's such a more talented athlete than these guys. He should win, but Stanionis is one of those guys who doesn't do anything spectacular, but he does everything well. So it's going to be very, very interesting. He's going to have a lot to worry about coming back at him, and this is one where his defense has to be better than it's been in his previous fights.
Yeah, and so that's a lot of great points there, Jay. And Zach, I'm going to kick it over to you. If you're Stanionis, what do you have to do to win this fight? What does Stanionis have to? Does Stanionis have to lure Jaron Ennis into his realm, into his playground, which is on the inside mostly, right? Does he have to do that, or could he outbox Jaron Ennis from the outside? Like, what does Stanionis have to do to win this fight?
Yo, before I answer that question, yo, Jay, you can't ever compare to Teofimo and his dad to Bozy and Jerron, man. You can't do it, bro. You can't, bro. It's night and
Well,
day. It's night
well,
and day.
Zach. I didn't say it's like apples to apples. I just said I was just talking about some comparisons here. I
I
wasn't
know, I
saying.
know.
I mean,
Bozy
I'll
ain't
tell you
gonna
what.
go yelling and nonsense to his son.
I
Bozy
know,
is
I
more
know.
articulate than that.
I'll mention another comparison, which I think you'll like. I think you'll like because I mentioned it on another show, and I was ripped for it. But go ahead, bro.
What happened?
Oh, I don't know.
Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
Oh,
No, no.
sorry. I was. Go ahead, Zach. I'll just mention another comparison later that people laughed at
All
me
right,
for.
cool,
But
cool, cool.
go
All
ahead,
right.
bro.
All right. So
Stanionis, what does he need to
basically,
do win?
basically, he's not. Samuel's style is not really boxing too much. He's not really like a ring general. He does everything right, but he's not a ring general. His best way and best thing to do with Jerron is punch when Jerron punches. You have to. You have to punch when he punches. You have to punch in between his shots. Sometimes Boots gets a little wide with his punches when he's punched. So go to his shots and always finish with some body shots to try and slow down Jerron. Will take the steam off them punches because those punches are coming with fucking crazy steam. You understand? And breathe between those. Breathe, not to get real technical, but to breathe. I'm talking about the breathing part. A lot of these guys they don't breathe. Breathe on the little lulls in action. Breathe, and then as soon as Jerron comes in, throw your shots. Just make sure his defense is tight. That's what I think. And throw a lot of feints. You throw a lot of feints, you're gonna get a guy like Jerron moving a lot because he move. His reflex is so good. He's moving. So him moving a lot, he's spending energy. You understand? And throw your jab. Even if it doesn't land, throw it. Put the jab out there. He needs stuff for Jerron to be, feel threatened of. If not, if Jerron feels like he could walk all over him, that's what he's gonna do. So that's what Stanionis has to do. Punch when he punches.
Yeah, and I think for Boots, he needs to avoid being on the inside too much. He can't be in the trenches like he has with Karen and all those guys, right? Where he's exchanging shots in close and stuff. I know that he's gotten the better of those guys in those exchanges, but there were some times where he got clipped really hard in those in tight like that. And if it was somebody else, we could be talking about a different fight right now.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah. You're
I
right.
think I think Boots needs to use all of his advantages, which is that 74-inch reach. Keep that distance, right? And use that footwork. Go into the inside only when like he really has to or necessary, but don't stay in there too long.
Mm-hmm.
Be in there for a short period of time and then get out. He can make it into a boring fight and just coast, not coast, but win an easy decision. It's going to be up to Stanionis to cut off the ring, not
Yeah,
follow him around the
really.
ring,
Yes.
land to the body of Ennis to kind of slow him down, and then make it into a really interesting fight in the rounds 8 through 12, right?
Yeah.
That's if Ennis or Stanionis don't stop each other in between that. So I think that those are really important for Ennis to do, and what you mentioned for Stanionis. Jay, I'm gonna kick it to you. Overall, like you see the different sides of how we look at this, the keys to victory. Overall, what is going to be like the theme of this fight as it plays out?
The theme for me is going to be Stanionis' pressure and how Boots Ennis deals with it. Because Boots, again, on an athletic standpoint, Stanionis, and listen, I've got a lot of respect for what he's done in his career, but Stanionis can't compete with an athlete like Boots. The question is whether Boots is going to get it right tactically, because really, it's not that he's been getting rocked by these guys who can't compete with him like Avanesian and Chukadzian. It's that he's getting clipped by fringe contenders who really don't really belong in there with him. So, and Stanionis is determined. He applies constant pressure. He's very accurate, and with Ennis, you just feel that he could do so much more than what he does. So it's going to be a question about whether he can deal with Stanionis' pressure. And what you said, Zach, about how he could make this fight boring and dance around. I agree. He could definitely outbox Stanionis, but who's going to want to see that? And he's often, the thing about Boots is that he often engages a lot more than he needs to, and we love him for it. But against Chukadzian, there were so many times after he dropped him where I thought this fight's over, and maybe Chukadzian's just really tough. Maybe Boots just wasn't focused because he was getting bored with these overmatched opponents, but he just didn't. I mean, did he even really hurt him after that knockdown? I'll have to watch the fight, but it's will Boots be able to deal with Stanionis' pressure, his toughness, the fact that Stanionis has good defense? I mean, he was doing really well with Avanesian when he was dancing around. Again, did he start getting hit more than he should have because that weight cut is just too much for him? Is it because he's bored? We'll wait and see.
Yeah, it's just funny because a long time, like people would tell me, like when you're so good, when you fight, when you're so good and you get in there with somebody that's not even on your skill level, sometimes you get so bored. And then a lot of the old coaches, they would say, yo, keep yourself entertained, have fun, work on something, do something, to keep yourself entertained. And sometimes that helps. And sometimes the better fighter just doesn't. And it's just boring for them where they're so good, but they can't take the guy out the fuck out, that it just becomes a boring fight. You get it? So it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what that is.
Yeah, and shout out to my guy Tris Dixon from Boxing Scene, my brother Los, Danny Limelight, pro wrestler worldwide, #1 on the indie scene, Zuzu, and Papa Ray, referee.
Hey.
Yeah, what's up, guys? But yeah, really interesting fight. I think before we wrap this thing up, I'm gonna get a quick prediction. Jay, who you got and how?
I'm going to go with Boots Ennis by 12-round decision. I can see
Wow.
it being 7 rounds to 5.
Okay.
Wait, sorry. I wasn't looking at the screen. Who was surprised by that?
I was
No,
surprised. I thought you was
no.
gonna say. I thought Jay was gonna say Stanionis.
Oh,
Okay.
no. I noticed the challenges Stanionis brings, but no, I think Boots should win. I mean, I will say this: if Boots is really, really killed by that weight cut, like if that photo he put on his Instagram was not photoshopped, if he's actually that thin yesterday, then okay, the emoji was obvious. I'm not talking about the emoji that was photoshopped. I'm talking about if he's actually as skinny as he looked in that photo. Would
We
not
got
be too
24.
shocked if. Sorry.
We got 24-hour hydration. Filming, no weight limit. Oh man, yeah.
Yeah. I can see Stanionis putting him in the corner and pressuring him and putting him down, possibly. But really, Boots should win. But I can see it being a 7 rounds to 5 type of fight, especially again with because Boots just isn't like I compared just quickly the comparison that a lot of people I mean they thought they really took this literally. I compared Boots Ennis to Sugar Ray Leonard. People were like, what? How could you do that?
What you
I
mean?
was
That's a good
talking about
comparison. What you talking
yeah,
about?
thanks. Thanks, Zach. Yeah, no, I was talking about his athletic ability. I mean, Boots is such a spectacular athlete; it's crazy. But defensively, yeah, in terms of the skills he's shown, like defensively, he's not Sugar Ray Leonard, but I feel like he could be that. So, and if he was, I mean, Sugar Ray Leonard barely got touched in his prime.
But look, Sugar Ray Leonard would get clipped, bro. Sugar Ray Leonard would get hit, and he would make fights even
Yeah.
harder for himself too. So you got to understand that. Yeah,
Zach,
bro.
give it to me. Zach, give it to me so we could head out. Cause I know you got to go somewhere.
Yo, you know what I'm saying. I'm gonna just tell y'all, I got my boy Boots winning by late stoppage.
Ooh, okay. I think
Okay.
I'm gonna go.
10th round type of thing. If he does drop, Stanionis, he's going to try to go for the kill, big time, healthy, heavy Boots. What you got, Abe?
Yeah.
I'm going Boots by unanimous but close decision. So in other words,
Just like
so we're
Jake.
pretty similar.
Okay.
well,
like
in
Jake.
other words, 115, 113, straight through.
Okay, I like it.
And just because the news was recent, that's exactly how I see Benavidez-Bivol going. Benavidez beating Bivol by close decision.
They're not fighting.
Well, hopefully they will be fighting next year.
True.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see. Hey, listen. Before we sign out, Jay, give them your handles and all that.
Yeah, Fights Will Talk on Twitter, YouTube. I'm going to be collaborating with a few other big channels. I appreciate you guys having me on as always, and
Absolutely.
yeah, getting back into it, and yeah, so looking to push that forward. Thanks for having me on, guys. Look forward to being on the next time, and yeah, peace out.
Thank you, Jay.
Man. Thank you, Jay. I appreciate it. Zach, let them know what's the deal.
Follow me at Zachary Ochoa on Twitter, and keep tuning in for these wonderful shows that we make. Every other Friday usually, and we just like to give it to you how we got to give it to you. Straight real, just straight real, just telling you the honest facts. And this ain't no. And this ain't no gimmick shows. You know what I'm saying? We ain't disrespecting fighters just to get attention. We just talking about facts, and we say how we feel, and that's just what it is, man. And I appreciate Abe for having us on this.
Yeah, you already know, Zach. Thank you for coming on. As you know, fightsatw.com is the website as seen on now Bleacher Report. Bleacher Report is now putting our articles on their website. So the Newsbreak app, yardbarker.com, and of course, fightsatw.com are all places where you can get the news on boxing and wrestling. At AbeG718 is X on Instagram, and at AbeG Boxing is the YouTube. Please subscribe, like, comment. It helps, and it helps with the visibility and everything else. I appreciate you, Zach. I know you were on a time crunch today, so thank you for coming on as always. And we'll sign out. Eubank Ben, April 27th. That's going to be the next one we're going to be focusing on.
Yeah,
or April 26th, I should say. Yeah, so we're going to be doing that next that Friday.
That's going to be a fun one, though. That's going to be a fun one. So
yeah, let's see. Fatal Fury, man. So for everyone, thank you. We appreciate it, and we'll see you on the next one.